Welcome to the Sisters Uncensored podcast, where we get into everything from childhood trauma to millennial adulting and all things in between. We share crazy stories from the past and present to help us cope with the insanity that is our lives. By sharing our perspectives, we hope to bring some relatability, laughter, and unsolicited advice that can help you survive the messiness of life along with us. My name's Jessica Labita. I'm a millennial mom, wife, and marketing professional, and I am absolutely insane. My name is Ashley Lanieve. I am a millennial stay-at-home mom, avid golfer, and too mouthy for my own good. We are real sisters, and this is Sisters Uncensored. Take this trip with us. Hey guys, welcome to the Sisters Uncensored podcast. Today we have Taylor Geare and Traci Hays with us from the movie On the Run, which is now live on Tubi. So Taylor is one of the stars and Traci is the producer of the movie. And so we're super excited to meet with you guys today and chat and talk about this new awesome film. We watched it. We loved it.
It was good. It was really good. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to lie. Your character, like in the first 20 minutes, I'm like, what a bitch. Oh my God. Like, I could almost see a little bit of myself and her.
I thought the same
in this
thing.
character, like just mouthy. And at that age, I was like, oh, she's doing very good with this. Very good.
I'm glad you can relate. That's so funny. That's not. She's so different from who I am in real life that it was fun to get to be the punk.
Yeah,
good for you.
Yeah.
Try it on for size.
You guys are so beautiful. Taylor, I loved your character. It is funny to see you in person and that you definitely are not that girl, which is amazing. Just goes to speak to your skills.
Yeah.
Scared?
A little bit. I got Sons of Anarchy vibes in the beginning. I'm like, ooh, this is cool.
Me too. That's what I was thinking. We talked about it a little bit after we watched it, and I thought the same thing, very Sons of Anarchy. I love that show, so I'm all for it. If you want to throw the main character in from that show onto your movie next time too, I will watch. I will absolutely watch. He's a snack.
They had some hotties on in that movie, that's for sure.
I don't know, that one guy that you cross paths with is a psycho.
Wait on that.
Okay. Cutie, and he's so sweet.
Oh my God. Well, he did really well. Yeah. He did very well.
Yeah, he definitely he is also not like his character. Just the kindest guy.
So I want to get into that, but let's start by just getting a little background on you guys. We'd love to hear more about you, what inspired the film, and for you, Traci, producing it and stuff. Tell us about what drew you guys to this project and why you wanted to work on it. We'd love to hear more from you.
Absolutely. Yeah. On the Run it's been with me now for over a year. I will say that I actually didn't produce the film. I directed the film. I wanted to give shout out to the actual.
I keep saying producer. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I feel like I produced the film because I deeply care about everything I do and I can't help myself and I love that aspect of filmmaking, but I wouldn't be anywhere with this film without the producers that were behind the film at Mike TV and Mara Vista and Fox. So I just want to give them a little shout out because they were the ones behind the scenes making it happen. So in terms of where the film came from, it started with a log line, which for your listeners, I'm not sure if they're familiar with that term, but it's essentially a little sentence that kind of hooks you into wanting to know more about a project or a movie. And so the writers of the film, Becky Weinberg and Sarah Eisenberg, and I went to film school together at Chapman University in Orange County. And we had been working together over the years and finally kind of came to this, all the stars aligned and they were pitching log lines to Fox Tubi. And they ended up Tubi really liked this log line about a family and witness protection program. And so it was a very different background. There wasn't motorcycle clubs that kind of came in later, but that was the impetus. And it was all about, I love that we're all talking about sister, your show. And we all have sisters. So just to the core of the film, sisters learning to put aside their differences and ultimately go on the run from this intruder. We won't give spoilers away today. But that's the in a nutshell version of how the film was came together. So.
It's a really clever idea. I wasn't expecting them to be in witness protection. Like, that took me by surprise in the first few minutes, and then I was like, oh, okay. Ooh, tell me more.
Yeah. So, so you want to jump in? I mean, you got to have fun. I feel like you're the first person to sign on to the project, actually. So
I was.
don't even know.
Which is such a privilege. Thank you. Yeah, I had auditioned for this, I sent in a self-tape, and a few days later, I think a weekend had passed or whatever, my girlfriends had called like an emergency meeting. One of them was having like a problem, and she was like, can we all just get together and have dinner and just chat? And I was like, okay. So we all meet at my friend's house. It's like 10:30 at night, and I get a text from my managers, and they go, I'm so sorry. I know that it's late, but do you play guitar? And I said, oh, yeah. They were like, On the Run wants to know, they want to see a video of you playing guitar. And I was like, oh, okay. So I looked at my friend, I was like, do you have a guitar? And she goes, yeah, I think so. So she runs back in her room, and she comes out, and we like set the little camera up on the, it's like 10:30 at night, and I send this video out, and my managers were like, great, you're pinned, which basically means they're like putting a placeholder in you so that if they want to hire you, they can. Awesome. And then I think the next day or two that I was brought on board. And that was so exciting. And I really love when I get a project to like start collaborating and talking to people as soon as possible. So I'm asking my managers, I'm like, okay, can you get me the director's information? They took too long. I just DM'd her on Instagram, and I was like, hi. In your movie, can we talk?
Oh, that's the best way to get to know someone. Why not?
Yeah, it's so authentic. Yeah, for sure.
It's like, well, we're going to work together anyway. I'm going to be seeing your face for the next weeks. So
I'll be seeing your face for the next, editing room for a month. It was our post-production schedule was very short, but in a normal situation, you look at all the lovely actors' faces for months at a time. So yeah,
I bet.
Yeah, that's so funny.
For an actor, it's over once it's over. Like, until we get to the point where the film comes out and you start promoting it and talking about it and doing press like with you guys today. Yeah. But for Traci, it never ended.
Oh, that's a lot of work. That's definitely a lot of work. What would you say is one of your most memorable moments from filming this particular movie? Any favorites? Any hates?
Yeah, like was there a specific scene that you loved or hated? I want to tell you my favorite scene.
Oh, I'm so curious. I'm excited to hear that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of what Ashley was alluding to earlier when Orion and you are in the trailer and he is choking you. Oh my God. Just the way he was laughing. And like,
that's what I was like, gonna say.
Oh, he plays like such an amazing psychopath. Like this is insane.
Part of me was thinking though, when that scene was going on, I'm like, I don't know what this guy definitely snapped, because won't her father kill you if you kill her? Like, what the hell? What are you thinking? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. But the laughing and the like.
Yeah, how he was like screaming, yelling and stuff. I was like, oh, this is intense. So I can imagine as an actor for you, granted it's like a pretty climactic scene, right? But I feel like if he was my friend, which it sounds like he is from what you guys are saying from working together, I don't know like how you guys managed to like keep a straight face through that, because I would be laughing, especially as he's like, oh, like I'd be like,
It's so funny. I'll say a little bit, and then I would love for Traci to speak on this, because she her and Orion worked so closely that day that I think she has some cool things to say about that. But honestly, it wasn't funny. It was not a fun day. We filmed all the scenes in the trailer, so I spent hours being like tied up and yelled at. it's all okay being the land of pretend, and everybody, of course, you yell cut and everybody's like ha 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 laughing and whatever.
Right.
But in this particular moment, like having him go to those extreme lengths and being on the other end of it, it's scary. You know that you're safe, but it's still scary. I mean, I think the take that we got where he really went for it, they didn't have the camera on me, but I was like sobbing.
Oh my God. Oh, I mean, I guess that's being a great actor or actress, you know, it's like you really have to be in the moment as if it's happening, right? To
Put
make
yourself
it
in the
real.
place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the audience. So you really do like transcend to that place. And that scene was intense.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I was like, ooh, I feel like I've seen those crazy eyes before. I don't know where, but I feel like I've seen them before. Just not good. I don't know.
He was so lovely about it, though. He was so careful to not. He didn't want to scare me or upset me or anything like that. And at the end of every take, like, I just wanted to be there for him as much as possible, because when you're doing something that intense, whether it's an intimacy scene or whether it's in a way, this is another kind of intimacy scene. You're there with somebody else who's really just like giving a side of them that they might not be comfortable with or familiar with to you. So at the end of every take, like I would sit up and we would just like hold each other.
Mhm.
It's okay. And then we would go again. But he was very sensitive.
That's nice. I like that.
Yeah, it's really nice to work with people who are kind and also able to give their all at the same time. So
Yeah, there definitely has to be an element of trust there. You can tell with that sort of a scene, because it was definitely like intense, and like we're certainly not actors, obviously, right? Which is why, like, as I'm like thinking through everything that's happening and watching it and putting myself in your shoes, I'm like, I could never do this. Like, I give you guys so much credit because it's crazy. So Traci, then, like, as you're directing something like that, what's going on?
Yeah, Orion actually, it's interesting. He actually ended up scaring himself a little bit. I don't think he was aware of what was, and I say that because I don't think he had an opportunity in his career to really play a character that went to those extremes in a space where he was comfortable enough to go there. So I really implored him to go there and just give him that freedom, frankly. And I think he had drank a few Red Bulls before the scene. I think he shot a Red Bull to like, because that adrenaline is like so, I mean, it's there. And like, he just, you know, I think kind of moments, less is more. Like I really just let him, I was like, we're safe. We know what's happening. You know, as long as the choreograph, you know, our stunt coordinator worked with our stunt people, performers, and then Taylor and Orion. And then for my biggest thing was safety. And then it was like, let's just give them permission. A lot of times that's all actors need.
Yeah, go hard or go home.
That was
agree.
Amazing.
I love how you say
intense.
that, like when you guys were doing multiple shoots of that, trying to get the shot, you're hugging each other afterwards. I'm thinking to myself, if I were her, and like this is happening, like by the time somebody else cut, I'm like, get off me, just get off me.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough. You can go compose yourself or something. All right, but maybe you need a cigarette. I don't know.
Well, that's the great thing about an environment that does feel safe and respectful, is that if that's what I needed, that would have happened. If it was like, okay, get off me, I need a second, you need a second, that's what we would have done. So I think having the choice makes it very easy to continue to be giving and supportive.
That's awesome.
If there wasn't the choice, I might be a little bit more like, get off me.
I could see myself being like, all right, get off me. Like, because I would just shut off mentally, like not from the scene or anything like that, but just that, okay, we got it. Now it's on to the next thing. Like, I don't know. I'm a little bit like, all right, what are we doing next? Where it's done. We got it. It's done. Let's move on. Next.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. It would either be that or I'd be like, oh my God, you did so great. That was amazing. I was really scared for a second. I'm not
not gonna lie to you, really good work. Like that would be, I don't know. I like being a good hype man.
I love that.
So that was definitely our favorite scene. What about you guys? Like, what was your favorite scene?
Oh,
There's so
yeah, I mean, I was like, there's a lot. I don't know.
I know. I'm like,
Like, is there a moment that stands out for you that was like, this was awesome, or that made you feel amazing about your work and what you were doing?
There's definitely multiple moments because the whole cast brought their A game. I think the action in the film was so important to tell. I find myself more drawn to the emotional side of the scenes that we had so many of them throughout the film. I mean, that scene between the two of them and their father, who was played by Casey Clyde, when they talk about just like they reveal that they're a witness protection program, and that whole scene, there was so much just like such a vulnerable, raw energy in that room. And we did that. I mean, I think Casey did that in 2 takes. Like we didn't have. I mean, we were flying. We were shooting 6.5 pages a day with stunts, sometimes with car scenes. You know, we were going so fast, and so, you know, I just think being drawn into those kinds of moments, or the scene with Taylor and Sophia, who plays Kayla, when they're in the hotel room and they reveal, and I won't say on here, like they kind of learn more about their backstory. I think we shot that on day 1, and they just immediately had already built this chemistry in like a matter of days. And that was really beautiful to see, you know, just like, boom, you're in it. So there's other scenes too, but those definitely, those emotional moments that really are the heartbeat of the scene. I really knew that they were important to just put to tie everything together, you know, throughout the movie. So
yeah.
I tend to, when I'm watching movies, I tend to yell at the TV if I want something to happen.
Me too.
Right? I mean, like,
I'm a very local film watcher. It's horrible.
don't run up the stairs when a serial killer is chasing you. Like stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in that particular scene that you just mentioned where he's talking to them about how they're in witness protection and whatever. Yeah. And your character like gets nasty with him. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, little bitch, a lot just happened. All right, a lot just went down. Can you cut him a little slack? Just like a little bit? Cut him some slack. A lot just happened for this man, okay? He's going through it. Just give him a minute. But like
Be a teenager and process trauma.
it was good.
You don't have to tell us.
Yeah.
That's the premise of this whole
You
show.
don't. You really don't. But like, it's like looking back in time, I was like, oh my God, Jesus. But you did a very good job. Because I was yelling at you from my couch.
Taylor, tell us more about you and Sophia and playing sisters and what that was like. Was it challenging to do that? Do you have real sisters to relate this to? I'd love to learn more about how you brought that all together.
Yeah, so the interesting thing about that, well, I'll say filming with Sophia was a wonderful experience, and she's since become one of my best friends. We talk like every day.
That's awesome.
Really wonderful. That doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
So it's cool to play such a close relation and have a friendship out of it. But I have 3 younger siblings. I'm the oldest. I have 1 sister. Yeah. My sister is it's me, my sister, and then my 2 brothers underneath us. So Claire and I, that's her name, we're super tight. We definitely like in our childhood operated as like a unit, you know, you end up being like the mom and dad for the kids.
Yeah.
But she just means the world to me. I love her so much. And the interesting thing about our relationship is that with Claire and I'm Kayla. She's Paige. 150%. So I took a lot of inspiration from her in all the best ways, to be able to play this role, and getting to have that role reversal with Sophia, to be taken care of and looked after and, you know, even chided, and to get to act out and be loud and ferocious with my personality and style it was cathartic. And it also it made me feel really close to my sister. Like, it was so cool. I just found myself thinking about her so much, and during like super late nights or whatever, because we did a few night shoots. Sometimes I would be so tired and we're eating dinner at 3 a.m. or whatever. And she has a podcast. So I would just pop on my little podcast of her, and it's like I'm hanging out with her.
Oh, that's nice.
I love that.
Honestly, when I listen to our podcast, because I totally do. I mean, whatever. Anyway, but when I listen to it, I find myself laughing at it because I'm just like, oh my gosh, I love listening to our banter. We're so ridiculous. We're such a mess.
It's true. I can't imagine having to be acting in a film and trying to play a character that was you.
You'd be so easy. This is so easy. I got this, no problem. I've been doing this since I was a child. I know how to be you.
Oh, wait. Okay. Maybe that's why you turn out so awesome.
I was going to say, we're basically like the same person, so it's not very hard. I mean, there's some things about you that are definitely firstborn syndrome.
I'm getting softer, too, as I get older. I feel like you're like hardened, where I feel like we like flip-flopped.
I guess. Yeah, you're probably right.
You know, like you were softer growing up and I was the harder one. And then as we're getting older, I'm softening and you're having to be more hard.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because of the way life threw things at us, but also because we've learned and grown from each other's experiences.
Yes, you're not wrong.
You know?
Yeah, she's not wrong. I'm like hugging a pile of bricks.
That's a really interesting point. I think too, what's the age gap between you guys?
3 years.
3 years? That's the same with my sister and I. I think
mine too. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't speak for years down the line, but at least for us, like I think that the more that I've been able to grow up, even in that 3 years, I've been able to soften, and she's had to harden in some ways. And I think it's just like the times in life. I see her hardening when I was like, oh, okay. And then you get older and you get more freedom, or whatever, and then you're able to
that
makes
sense. Yeah. It totally does. And then you have children and you have to help each other parent because
it takes a village.
Yes, it literally takes a village, right? Mm-hmm. Tracy, do you have any children?
Yeah. I don't have children, but I have 6 nieces and 1 nephew, all under the age of 4. So,
yep. All under the age of 4?
Yeah, oh 4.5. Yeah, they're.
Oh my gosh.
My 4, 2 girls and twins, and then my sister has 3 girls, and they were very succinct in having children around the same. I don't think it was planned; it just kind of happened. So yes, it takes a village. I love being around kids. It's weird, the 3-year thing for all of us. Because I'm the oldest as well. Funny. Yeah, my sister's 3 years. I have 2 younger sisters, and then the youngest is my brother. And so we were obviously the farthest age gap wise, but I left the house to go to college. So I was 19 or 20. So I didn't get a chance to know him as well. And now as an adult, it's kind of fun to see how our personalities are changing. And it definitely took some stuff from my childhood. With obviously the writers also have siblings, and just we kind of poured all of that into each Taylor and Sophia's character, because I remember my mom like tied my sister and I together because we were fighting so much, and she's like, you two have to work together. She like literally tied us together.
Cool parenting. It's my favorite. I think it's the way to do things. I'm telling you, we shouldn't do timeout anymore.
It was effective.
Go back to tying your kids together and see how they work out.
It was like you guys work this out. And so we always were like, okay, we got to work this out amongst ourselves before the parents. Like if the parents got involved, it was really bad.
Oh man. Wait a second. Let me ask you this question. Since you're both firstborns and you're a firstborn, obviously, I'm just curious, when your parents left you in charge of your siblings, what kind of supervisor were you? Yes. Because Jess was a dictator. I'm just saying. She was basically like, I'm in charge. Everybody's got to listen to me. And was a dictator. She was Hitler. Whatever. neither here nor there. You were not nice. She was very bossy. She would be like that when we'd play school, too.
I was not that bad.
No, you weren't that nice. You really weren't. She wasn't nice at all.
We did like a whole episode on childhood bullies, and we were talking about who our childhood bullies were, and when it came Ashley's turn to talk about who her childhood bully was, she said it was me.
She was.
I was like, oh,
she was
that hurts
really
my heart.
mean. She was really mean. Now I love her. But I mean, we talk about this all the time too, that our mom has always told us that, like when we were little kids, like, you girls, when we're fighting, you're going to be best friends. You guys are each other's best friends. You're never going to be able to live without each other. I remember vividly being like 6 and be like, I will die before I'm best friends with her. She is wicked. She is mean all the time. She tortures me for fun. Like, ugh. And now literally she can't ever leave me.
And now here we are.
Ever. Like, you can never leave me. I swear. If you die before me, I'm just going to jump in the box.
So, because my sister and I was so annoyed with my sister, the one who was 3 years younger than me, because I was just like, she wanted to be so much like me and just wanted to be around my friends. And I'm like, no, go away. Like, these are my friends, they're not your friends. She had crushes on all my guy friends because I was very much a tomboy growing up. And she would steal my clothes, and she just wanted to be so much like, I didn't realize, but yes, I can relate to you're so annoying. Like, I don't want to hang out with you. And I don't know, when my parents left, I don't recall like a specific like day or where that, like, I think I probably, the kids, everybody was fine, no one got hurt, so I know
they survived.
We're all alive, if that's what you mean.
It couldn't have been that bad.
Couple of fingertips short. We have a couple of different, don't ask, honestly.
Okay.
You'll have to listen to that episode. It's another episode, whatever. Anyway. But no, we all survived. And we're, at least for us, we're all very close. There being 4 siblings, there's none of us that like don't speak to each other or anything like that. Like, we're all very, very, very close. We're actually all going to get tattoos together in like the next few weeks.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be fun.
That's so cute. So you didn't do that bad of a job.
No, see, she turned out all right.
No, I'm okay, I guess. I mean, I'm pretty fun. Just kidding.
I take credit for the good and then blame the bad on my parents.
She's right. Yeah, she does. She does that a lot, actually. She does do that a lot. I feel like most firstborns would do that, though, right? Doesn't that make sense? In all fairness, for you guys were like born and then shoved into raising other children at a young age. That's all I can tell you. I mean, with having so many younger sisters or brothers, like, you fall into that role where you have to take care of everybody.
Yeah, and you pave the way for everyone else. So like, you're the test dummy, for lack of a better word. It's true. Right?
True. They all got cell phones before I did. Everything happened earlier for all my siblings. I got the short end of like, oh, you can't, you have to be home by 11 or 10, I remember. And then you have to, these are the kinds you can only wear, makeup when you're old. You can't have a phone until you're 7. It was all the thing. And then they all got it when they were much younger. And I was like, oh, I don't think this is fair.
Hard rules for us, and then they get way more like lax with the rest of them as time goes on.
I don't think they're even laxed. I think they're exhausted.
Probably.
I mean, let's be honest.
That's true.
I'd be like, this is not the hill I'm dying on.
You're
today.
on your own.
You want your own landline with the clear phone where you can see all the gizmos and gadgets in it? I'm not going to die on this hill. You can have it. It's fine.
I didn't get it. I had a very sad looking brown phone that lit up.
As long as it wasn't rotary, you're okay.
Yeah.
You guys are amazing. We're so happy that we got to talk to you today. We really loved the film. If you have anything that like you want to plug while we're here, just to let our audience know like more about you or what else you might have coming up. Obviously, we want everyone to watch On the Run on Tubi. It's live now. You can watch it. It's out there. But what else do you have?
Taylor, you want to go first?
I have a film that's in the process of getting distribution right now that just did a wonderful job with the festival circuit. It's called A Wonderful Way with Dragons.
Ooh.
It's directed by Delphine Paolini, and it is a beautiful art house dream nightmare. I guess it's
Okay.
yeah, it's like a dark fantasy in a lot of ways, but it's really fun. So that's what I have coming up.
Awesome.
Nice.
Good for you.
Exciting. When is that coming out? Do you know, like, about?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited. You'll have to keep us posted.
I will.
Yes, watching. Yeah, it's so crazy. Like you put it out in the world and you hope you get distribution. Obviously, on the run, as we were so fortunate to have a home for it already, and it's so on top of that, it's free to watch. I mean, Tubi, like, it's so great that they're a free streaming service, completely free.
I love
just throw that out there.
Honestly, I learned that because I watched your movie. I was like, oh, I am going to check this out. They have other things out here and it's free. Don't mind if I do. I'm a stream queen, man. So, like, I'm here for it. I download the app.
Yeah.
On all of my devices, I'll be honest.
No, I mean, they've outpaced a lot of other streaming services. They have 80 million active, people on their platform every month. They've really done a lot in the last 3 years, and I'm just happy that we got to be a part of the journey, and more to come. I've got a few irons in the fires with a number of features, and I optioned a book, so I am in development on all those, and taking lots of meetings, drinking lots of coffee, and just gearing up. A lot of the timing is everything, and so yeah, just obviously with promoting the film, and then working on the next thing. So yeah,
Good for you.
Amazing. Well, we wish you guys so much success. The movie is awesome. And it's definitely something that we're going to continue to promote for you. And we're so happy that you came here today to talk to us. And I don't know, anything else?
No, thanks for coming. It was really nice to meet you guys. It was really nice.
You are both so beautiful.
Pleasure.
Absolutely. Be kind to your younger siblings. All right. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.